If you saw my spoiler-free review, you know generally what I thought of this movie. Laura and I are now going to spoiler talk this and get much deeper. Welcome to Durbania. I'm Durbin.
I'm Laura.
And we are spoiler talking Justice League. I'm really excited to talk about this movie.
Yes, I know.
I think I'm just excited to be excited about a DC film again.
Yes, very true.
Yeah. So where do you want to start? Okay, what did you think of Justice League?
I enjoyed it. I mean, I went in with very low expectations because they have all not been the amazing movies. They've been fun, but it's not amazing. And if you go in with low expectations, you tend to enjoy it. But this was much better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot better than I was expecting. And like I said in my spoiler-free review, so I'll touch on this lightly, then we'll get into it really deeper. There were a couple things that kind of really helped me set the mood. Number one was that musical score by Danny Elfman.
I know.
It was awesome to hear that classic Batman music once again in a new movie with Batman. I loved it. And then, since this is a spoiler talk, here we go to some major spoilers. When Superman popped on the screen and we hear do, and then you're hearing Danny Elfman, Batman. Oh my gosh. I mean, just that alone.
He was very happy.
Just that alone. I mean, I'm getting super passionate about that, but I mean, just that alone. Oh my gosh. That was so... That kind of, number one, was my thing that shifted my expectations. Mm-hmm. From looking for something big and epic to just getting back into something that is really just fun. Yeah. Also, it felt like a DC animated movie with a high budget.
Which I have no problem with that. I like DC animated movies.
Yeah. She cried in the Superman Doomsday animated movie.
I got choked up.
No, you cried.
No, because I held it in because we were dating, and I didn't want him to think I was like a crybaby in movies. I got choked up. I did not cry.
Yeah, she cried when Superman died.
Name a movie that I've cried in.
Superman
I don't
Doomsday.
cry in movies.
Superman Doomsday.
Moving on.
So Steppenwolf, one of my negatives was... he was really not that much of a threat. He was not that threatening. I mean, what did you think of our main villain that's supposed to pull together the Justice League?
Well, when he did pull together the Justice League, he was just a little too easy to beat. I mean, I felt like they had nice epics. It was not... I felt like it was not rushed, the ending. Like how, Batman vs. Superman, when the Superman and Batman are fighting and it's super fast and it's over.
Oh yeah, that was really fast, yeah.
And so this one, I didn't feel like it was necessarily rushed because there's the parademons and there was the different, things that they did with it. And because the movie was also shorter, and because it was shorter, the ending being short was not really a huge issue for me. But it's just they were fighting him and it's there was no real stakes. They're getting thrown across the room. This is happening and there's no broken bones. I mean Batman did get his shoulder dislocated in one scene. And then when Superman comes in, I enjoyed that he's back. I do. I didn't 100% love the way he came back, and he'll talk about that more in a minute. But he had the cheesiest lines, but that fits Superman. I know it's is this guy bothering you still? Oh, come on. Gosh. I'm like, that would... I almost cursed there, but I just... duh. That's all I have to say. Duh.
Yeah. And his costume... he didn't have the black costume. And his costume, it was...
Yeah, it was black when he came back in the animated one, right?
Yeah, well, that's the...
Because that helped him...
Well, it's the Superman comics, okay? It's just part of the deal that he comes back in a black suit. I mean, even Smallville did all season 9 Clark Kent in the black gothic trench coat and stuff. Okay. So, that's the deal. He comes back in
Are you glad he wasn't in a black suit?
You know what? Black suit, no black suit, none of that bothered me. I didn't care. I was just glad he was back. What I couldn't help but notice, again, perhaps a DC overcorrection, his suit was blindingly bright. I mean, it felt like...
It's funny, because I didn't really notice that until you brought it up.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so Man of Steel...
Maybe compared to all the other characters who had darker costumes.
BBS, they definitely had a filter over everything, so everything kind of just was darker.
Oh, and there was no filter like that over this.
Well, they at least made sure not to put that filter over Superman. And you could tell that was obvious course correction of everybody's complaining about how dark it is, and he's so mopey, so now we gotta make him super bright and give him the corny lines.
Yeah.
But that didn't bug me. I mean... I noticed it. I did. I was just okay, I see what you're doing. But I still have fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Something that I wanted. So when Superman comes back, he is doing destruction to the team. Like, he is going
he comes back disoriented.
After him.
He's
comes
very
back disoriented. Like, it's not expected. And, like, for some reason, Batman's not there to fight him. Probably because he can't fly. And I don't know how Aquaman got there fast. And then they're sitting there and they're about to fight him. And that whole fight sequence was funny, Tess. Because, really, the Flash.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the Flash didn't really know what to do, and so he's running fast, and you just watch Superman's eyes track with the Flash, and then the Flash's face is like, oh my gosh, what do I do?
I've never seen this before. When Superman's eye, okay, so you gotta imagine the Flash. Well, hopefully you've seen the movie and you're watching this. And that slow motion scene, all of a sudden Superman's head, and it looks like he's glaring. Just following the Flash, tracking with him.
And then he throws everybody off and goes fights them. Yeah. And Flash is just like doing everything he can to dodge and then gets knocked out.
Yes. So I thought that whole Superman resurrection scene was kind of interesting. It was rushed. I mean,
yes, it was.
It was like we got to find a solution to this and we got to bring him back to life fast. But there's a part of me that didn't mind that because I don't know, I just wanted to get to it. I wanted to see Superman back. I did not want this to be, he's just back at the end of the movie kind of deal. I wanted him back. So it was rushed, and I felt like it was rushed, but at the same time, I was just happy they just went and got it done. The idea of, like, 3 mother boxes.
Well, it was, like, halfway through the movie that they did it. So, I mean, it did take a little while for the movie's sake, but it felt like it was...
Well, the movie's shorter. It's under 2 hours. So, like, it got there fast.
Yeah, right on the nose, right about 2 hours.
Yeah, and so, like, it's just... the whole concept of the mother boxes was kind of interesting. It wasn't, like, awesome, but it was kind of interesting. And so 1 mother box to the Atlanteans, 1 mother box to the Amazonians, 1 mother box to mankind. Started to feel a little like Lord of the Rings there.
3 were given to the elves, 7 to the dwarf lords.
So it's the one Steppenwolf didn't get was the human box to mankind,
which Lex Luthor had, remember, when he was at the end of BVS.
I don't know did Lex Luthor have it or did just Star Labs have it?
Well, remember, he was in the water and there was a box and there was Steppenwolf.
No, I mean, he was in the water, and
I could be getting that wrong.
And he was doing something with his hands, and Steppenwolf had the boxes floating in a circle.
Oh, that's right, and
this
then
is the ultimate cut, by the way. And so I think that's what happened because we saw Star Labs had it in BVS, because that's how...
And how did they get
it? They just had it. That's how Victor's dad... That's what you have to do with this movie. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
They just
That was one of my questions. And, one of my other small issues... The Flash goes back in time to tell Batman in BVS, Lois Lane is the key. And when Superman was resurrected, who snapped him out of his funk?
Lois Lane.
And so luckily, Batman had the foresight to have Lois Lane there. But how did he have that foresight? Probably because the Flash went back in time and told him that Lois Lane was the key. And then we never saw the Flash go back in time to tell him that Lois Lane was the key. He never said, hey, I need you to do something for me real quick.
I was kind of hoping that something really bad was going to happen, the stakes were going to be really high, and the Flash would have to run back in time and connect us to that BVS moment.
That would have been really
cool! Which would then bring us back to the present, and then Batman has to do something with Lois to snap Clark out of it.
I know, and he hasn't learned that time traveling is wrong yet.
Well, he hasn't time traveled yet.
That we know of.
That we know of, but it's not even a factor right now.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't even brought up even a little bit.
No,
so that was kind of interesting. But back to what I was saying, when they brought Superman back to life using the energy from the mother box given as a gift to mankind, and they surge all this energy in him the same way that Lex Luthor made Doomsday. Mm-hmm. Like, I thought, okay, that's interesting. I could sort of get behind that. Okay. And then, what was really interesting was Superman coming out disoriented, which I can't even imagine, because the last thing he faced was Doomsday. I mean, he was in the most intense situation.
And he didn't really remember everything, it seems like, because when he saw Batman,
I remember you.
And he's like, do you bleed?
And that was great!
That was a good sign, because when Batman was on the ground after he got thrown over, he's like, yes, yeah, definitely bleeding.
I will say, in a fight of Batman versus Superman in the Justice League movie, that is how that fight should have gone. Yeah. The way Superman just kind of flung him and he went flying and hit that police car, and then Superman rushes over there, grabs him by his face, and just like squeezes his face, picking him up. Do you bleed?
Yeah.
That's how that fight should have gone in BVS. Nobody can stand up to Superman. Don't tug on Superman's cape. Anyway. And then, okay, so it's weird. This is where I continue to get mixed with this movie. I'm happy that Batman's big guns wasn't some kryptonite weapon.
Yeah.
I'm happy that Batman's big guns wasn't something to knock him out. I'm happy that Bruce decided to have faith in Superman and his big guns was to bring in Lois.
Yes.
And I thought that was a good key to snap him out of it. I do. And I thought that...
It definitely was because he loves her.
Yeah, that whole scene was
Love
well
Trump's
played.
hate.
Very angry with the trailer for showing a Superman in the cornfield because in the movie when, she woke up just like it was in the trailer and it wasn't connected to the field moment, I was like, oh crap. You guys got to learn to make your trailers. I'm serious. You guys need to learn to make trailers. Trailers are not to spoil things. Trailers are to advertise and say, come see.
It's funny because I told him as we were driving there that it wasn't a dream and that it was real.
And I told her...
Even though, guess what? It wasn't in there because he didn't say, oh, I guess you said yes. Did you hear that line once?
I did not hear that line.
Exactly.
I guess that's a yes. Yeah, they did cut that.
So, they cut that. And so, I told him, I'm like, you know what? It doesn't matter. You thought it was a dream in the trailer. So whether it was a dream or whether it wasn't a dream, it doesn't matter. You didn't see how he came back, and he's there. And we knew he was.
Whatever.
I mean, it's Justice League.
Okay, Warner Brothers, learn how to make a
Oh,
trailer.
come on. You like the trailers. Nothing was given away for how he came back, and you know it. You said it in the car. Nice try. You did.
I just feel like it was rushed. I think it would have been funner if he was disoriented a little longer.
I agree. Totally agree with that. And not like disoriented with Lois, like disoriented like maybe not remembering and then having the rage and then having the not remembering and then, the Lois Lane helping him remember and and having to be recharged by the sun and, things.
Well, they got around that with the blast of energy that brought him back.
Yes, and that was probably like 100 suns.
But what I liked about the Superman Doomsday novel that I read is he didn't have his powers when he came back.
Yeah.
And so he relied on Martian Manhunter, he relied on Supergirl, he relied on the Justice League.
Who was not in this movie.
No, I know. Point is that he relied on that, and that was kind of cool to see Superman have to rely on them, and then eventually he got his full charge back, and then that was awesome. So, I don't know, I guess either I would have liked to have seen the disorientation longer, or I would have liked to have seen him have no powers and have to recharge in the sun longer, but something where the stakes would have been up a little higher. As it was like, he flew to his farm, he saw his mom again, and that's what delayed him from connecting with the Justice League when they went to do their final battle. Even though I'm kind of saying, yeah, that was a little disappointing, felt a little rushed, I can't say that I hated it. Mm-hmm. Because I was just excited to get Superman back. And to not have a ton of CW drama like we get on all of our CW shows where it's just one drama-filled thing after another.
Yeah, we're down to like, what, one show? Oh, no, 2 shows. We watched Flash and Arrow.
Arrow is on a watch list.
Yeah.
It is almost done.
Yeah.
But that's my point. That's why I liked how fast they moved to bringing Superman back. It was probably my exhaustion of all this pointless drama of the CW shows that made me happy.
That's why I didn't
Justice
even think
League
about it.
cut the crap, brought us Superman back, and he came man, and when he faced Steppenwolf, it was epic. I mean, well, it was short-lived, but it was fun.
Yeah. I just like, one of the other scenes, a lot of the scenes I liked were Flash and Superman.
Yes.
Yes, because there was the post-credit scenes where they're starting the race, which you see that in cartoons. But
Superman Flash race.
Yes, but Batman tells the Flash before Superman's back, hey, you've got to get these people out of here. People are trying to exit, go east. And then Superman, because he then comes back, he hears the people, and he's like, oh, we've got to save him. So he catches up to the Flash, who's running at full force.
And the Flash is like, okay, this is east this time. This is east this time. I love the Flash.
And then the two of them... they go separate ways. He's like, you go right, I'll go left. And so he goes right and he gets the truck and he's so excited that he got the truck out of the way. And then you see Superman flying by with a giant building. It was that was a good scene.
You know,
there was a lot of jokes in this, but it didn't feel like it was overdone.
this is where I felt Joss Whedon's thumbprint. I think Joss Whedon does a great job with character development, and he does a great job with team building. I mean, just look at Age of Ultron and look at the first Avengers movie.
Yeah.
He did a great job with the characters keeping their individuality and building a team. And I feel like that Whedon thumbprint, I mean, this was a Zack Snyder film. No doubt about it. But the Whedon thumbprint was there in some of that writing. Like, you could feel Whedon's character moments. And I like that. I love the post-credits scene with Superman and the Flash racing. It was hysterical.
Yeah.
I loved the Flash pushing this truck with his super speed. Like, yeah! And then Superman flies by with an entire apartment complex of people.
Yeah.
Like, there were just those great moments. And also the Flash and Cyborg when they're digging up Clark's body. There's some great moments there together.
Well, the Flash was highlighted in this, and so I'm looking forward to the next Flash movie, or your first Flash movie, I should say, even though it is Flashpoint, which bothers me, but we're not going to go there.
We won't go there right now.
But one other point before, we wrap up, at the beginning, they're talking about how they stopped Steppenwolf the first time and how they separated the boxes. And they talk about the 5 different types
Diana's
of people.
telling Bruce Wayne the history of Steppenwolf and what was cool. Go ahead. You say it.
Yeah, well, what was cool. So it talks about the 5 different people that are, 5 different groups of people that are
Well, I know
helping.
the Amazonians, and it was the Atlanteans, and it was mankind, and then a little help from the stars.
A little help from the stars. Well, one of them was, I think they said, was there gods involved in that
Yeah, there were
one?
definitely gods
Yeah,
involved.
and then the last one was the Green Lantern Corps.
Oh, man. As soon as I saw this green hammer streak through the sky, I just went...
Because
yes.
Green Lanterns are part of this universe. And, we really want the Green Lanterns to be part of this universe. But unfortunately, the first Green Lantern movie did not do very well. So I think this was their way of just kind of introducing them. So that this way, one can come in future down the road.
Yeah.
The one thing, Nathan Fillion, unfortunately, he's a little too old for that role, but
it's true. No, nobody's old. It's about will. I mean, you don't need a muscular person. You don't need a chiseled person.
But
you don't
they are.
But you what you need is a character that can be willed. You hear me on that one? It's all about will.
I know. It's because Nathan Fillion's the voice of the animated
He's
ones.
my favorite Green Lantern.
Yeah, we enjoy he's got that persona.
The one thing that I kind of missed while I was watching this movie, I loved Aquaman. He was a lot of fun. I loved the Flash and Cyborg. They were a lot of fun. But I was missing an entire chunk. I really was. I mean, you have Cyborg and the Flash, and they're digging up Clark's body, and Cyborg's like, so you were just hit by lightning? Yeah, I was hit by lightning.
That's
But
the simplification of it.
You were in an accident? Yeah, I was in an accident. And that's it. And it's like... We know with these guys' origins, there's more to that story. I mean, I know from the CW Flash, there's more to that story, and I would like to have seen that told cinematically.
I think we'll get that in their individual movies, though.
Maybe, but it's like when you're bringing them together here, that's kind of the thing I liked about Avengers. That's what
they started with individuals,
and I like that. I mean, I have that with Wonder Woman, I have that with Batman, I have that with Superman. And I got nothing with Aquaman. I mean, there was nothing with Aquaman.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, good. And one of the scenes that kind of got me was, so he realizes he saves a fisherman, and there's like this green goo on him, and so he realizes he needs to go to Atlantis. But it sounds like when he got to Atlantis, he's like never really been there because his mom abandoned him to. Well, I wouldn't.
You watched Justice League: Throne of Atlantis, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
And so he was raised by his father, but he's part water, part land. And so he goes there, and he's talking to this woman after...
Mira, who's going to be his wife.
Oh, is that Mira?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sure. Who, and so he's talking to Mira, and she's like, well, your mother, what she would do is this would become her responsibility.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, you have to do something for me first. And nothing came up. All I can imagine is it was giving him the trident.
The trident, the armor, because he's gonna take
the
throne.
He didn't have armor, that's right.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of looked at that and I'm like, okay, they should have told us, but I guess we're just supposed to know.
I just couldn't figure out, where are we in Arthur Curry's story?
Yes.
Has he been to Atlantis before? It looks like he has. Has he met Mira before?
Well, he knew how to get there.
He knew how to get there, but had he met the woman who was going to be his wife? How much does he know about his history? I don't know. See,
he's like, you can take a punch. Like, that kind of it.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. It had the dialogue of he just met her. But
yeah.
It's things like that were rushed to me, and that's why it started to feel like more like a DC animated movie.
Yes.
DC animated movies,
Well, because they
They
have
just
so
start.
many.
Yeah, they just start.
And it's like,
you know?
because they figure you know the characters from the comic books.
And that's
or from
what this
the other
movie did.
movies,
It's like,
and
we just figure you know these characters from
Yes.
comic books, the movies, and other things. So we're
we
just
don't
going to
know
jump in.
which series of comic books that they were based off of.
Yeah, so
But that's okay.
It is
It
okay.
was still fun. I mean,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed myself. Our theater definitely enjoyed ourselves because you could
enjoy themselves, yeah.
Did I say something different?
We said ourselves.
Art, whatever. But because they at the end clapped, people were laughing, people were getting into it. So it's just it's a lot of fun when you're in a theater and you have that too.
So I gave the movie a B+. What is your rating?
Gosh, I'm always half a grade lower. I was gonna do a B.
Yeah, it's a B movie. It's not an A movie.
Yeah, it's not like amazing, but it is a lot of fun. You will have a good time. And I mean, some of the special effects are good, but Steppenwolf doesn't look great.
Steppenwolf is terrible. So let us know what you thought of Justice League in the comments. And while you're there, hit the subscribe button. Next to the subscribe button is that bell. Click the bell so you're notified the moment I drop another movie review, trailer reaction, theological analysis, ranking video, whatever else. This week I plan to rank all the DCEU movies. I have a Patreon page if you would like to check that out. Your support means a lot to me. I want to say thank you to all those who do support me.
Yes, thank you so much.
Check out that Patreon page. I'm Durbin.
I'm Laura.
Thank you for checking out Durbania.